This girl was swimming. She was hit by something. Suddenly the girl was dragged into the sea. The water instantly turned strawberry colored. The girl struggled in terror. It turned out that a large shark had bitten the girl's leg. She struggled to free herself from the shark's mouth. She saw the carcass of a whale in front of her. She didn't bother to check her leg. She swam as hard as she could towards the whale. The shark was still behind her. The girl managed to climb onto the whale's carcass. She escaped with her life. She looked at the wound on her leg. The wound was bleeding profusely. It was very serious. She put on a simple dressing to cope with the pain. She then noticed someone on the shore who was driving away. She called out desperately, over and over again. Suddenly the car stopped, but they didn't hear the girl's cries. Then they drove off. The girl was now desperate, but she had to pull herself together, because the shark didn't leave. The shark even tries to flip the whale, to get the girl off its back, but it doesn't work. She looked at the boys in the distance, and looked at the shore all too far away from her, so she takes her chances. She swims towards a small reef not far away. The shark is following her. She swam as hard as she could. She managed to get onto the reef, and then she passed out, but the sea lapped violently at the wound. She woke up in pain. She had to stop the bleeding as she saw the severity of the wound, otherwise she wouldn't have lasted long. So she took off her earrings and her bent necklace, and then, in excruciating pain, she used the necklace to sew up the splintered flesh. Then she took off her dress and wrapped her leg to stop the bleeding. Luckily, she now has a wounded seabird to keep her company. Gradually, at night, the sea grows cold. She was shivering with cold, so she removes the clothes from her leg and puts them on, but the wound still needed to stop bleeding, so she pulled off a sleeve and wrapped it around her leg. The process was again painful. Now she was cold and hungry. She is now cold and hungry, but at this point she catches some small crabs. She tries to eat a few, but she soon threw up. She looks out over the sea, thinking that the shark should be gone. She tried to risk swimming to her skateboard. Using her skateboard she quickly reached the shore, then she carefully went down to the sea. She swam slowly for a while and was almost at the board, but then the shark suddenly appeared on the board. The girl swam back. Luckily, she made it back to the reef safely, but the wound hurt so much from the effort she had put in. She looked at the skateboard in the distance, and so she lay there the next day. When she woke up the next morning, she saw two men surfing in the sea. The girl shouted at them not to go into the sea, but they didn't listen to her. One wave passed and they disappeared into the sea. The girl felt desperate, but a wave passed and they emerged again. But suddenly a shark bites one of them. The other one panics and swims towards the girl. Do you think he could have escaped?